Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tim and this is Tim the Trailman, and today I'm really excited about an accessory or a mod that I'm going to get to put on the 4runner. That's going to be this Garmin Power Switch. I just did a previous video on comparing the Power Switch to the Switch Pro 9100, and I'm going with the Power Switch, so if you want to know all the reasons why, go watch that video. Today we'll be putting it in my 2020 4runner, and I'll finally be able to get to be using the lights that I've had installed without having a ton of switches inside the 4runner. To get this mounted in the 4runner, I need to go ahead and take this fuse relay piece out of the way so I can adjust this bracket. And by adjust, I mean modify with a die grinder. And not all 4runners have this. Mine's a TRD off-road. My friend has a TRD off-road that's a 2017 model, and hers does not have this fuse relay. So I don't know when they added it. Maybe you could tell me in the comments, but I don't need to modify the fuse relay box to be clear. I need to cut this bracket where that hook goes in that hole. The tray will use those two threaded holes by Toyota, and then that bolt will hold that bracket there. It doesn't need a lot of bolts. It's just a fuse relay box. One bolt will be just fine. Then I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the existing wiring that I had for other ditch lights along the bulkhead, and I need to wire up this. This goes to the light bar that's in the grill. And then long term, I'll have a few other lights that I'm gonna be putting on the car. So without further ado, let me get started and I'll be right back with the finished product. Okay everyone, it's the next weekend. The install took a little bit longer than I thought, so I didn't get to wrap up with filming and show you the final install. Before we get to that, let me give a shout out to Blaze Off-Road. They're a small business based in Colorado, and the owner name is Mitch. I talked to him before my purchase. He's the one that talked me into getting the Garmin Power Switch over the 9100 Switch Pro. And then I talked to him after the install about a couple of things that I had concerns about that I'll show you here. One is this bolt right behind the fuse box relay. They provide all the hardware, but I couldn't get any Allen wrenches on it, so I went ahead and reused the hex. He said it hasn't been a big deal for them, and I just don't know what I was doing wrong. The second thing is that the tray has a little bit of flex in it after you add all the wires to it. Not that anything weighs a lot, but everything adds up. After installing and selling over 400 nationwide, he hasn't had any concerns or problems with any of them breaking or pulling the threads out of the fender, so that put me at ease. Thank you so much to Mitch at Blaze Off-Road. He didn't pay me to say any of that. I love great communication, especially from small business, so head on over there to their website. And on a side note, what I did catch was he's actually investing in his business to shorten lead times and ramp up production. So even though I got everything from him very quickly, he's looking to get it to me even faster, so all he has to do is throw things in boxes and then get them in the mail as you order them. So head on over to his website, Blaze Off-Road. Okay, so jumping into the finished product. Here we have the SDHQ battery terminals on the negative and the positive with the Siemens fuse block. The Siemens fuses are 125 amp that power up directly to the Garmin Power Switch, and then it has a little 30 amp that I sent over to the fuse block that powers up the switches on the inside. So over here is the fuse block with the fuses that power up these two switches. I'll show you more about those in a second. And then over here is the Siemens ground bar, and all the grounds to all the lights and accessories on the vehicle go straight to here. So I love having them in one central place. Then you have the Garmin Power Switch. You can see the buttons here on top. I don't really think they're good for going down the road or turning on lights, but I did use them while wiring everything up to be testing everything as I went. So those is what I use the buttons for. I'm not really sure what they're there for as a whole. Then moving around, here's the ground to the Power Switch itself. The battery positive straight from the battery to power it up. And then these two wires here are from the switches. So as you turn them on and off, those are programmable in the app. You can have them turn on ditch lights, rock lights, reverse lights, or anything like that, air compressors, air horns for that matter. So those are a super great feature to have on the Power Switch that does give you physical buttons on the inside. Without them, you're going to be using everything on a Bluetooth device, whether a tablet, Garmin Overlander, or your phone itself. A quick shout out to my patrons. Their support means a lot to me in the channel, and if you'd like to be a patron too, please head on over to patreon.com/Tim the Trailman. Thank you so much. So that wraps up the install. That's everything from the powers, the grounds, the Power Switch, the tray system. You can mount the Power Switch without a tray system. I love the cleanliness, the tidiness of it, having all my wires in one place, but others, and on YouTube videos I've seen, you don't need a tray system. I thought would greatly help the install, and it definitely makes it look clean, helps me to diagnose anything that could go wrong in the future. If you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.